EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Set, ready? 22 jet bombers, 22 jet bombers.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. This will be caught by Brown. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Cousins now. It's complete to Diggs. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Throwing, Cousins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Throwing is Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard just throwing it around probably with his dad, he thought about playing in the NFL. He dreamed of it. But to put up these kind of numbers while doing so, that's got to be kind of cool for him. He'll enjoy the heck out of thinking about that when this one is over.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Cousins again. That's caught by Treadwell. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run for the first time with the former Bearcat, Mike Boone. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
On second down, boom. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he's got Kyle Rudolph. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away. Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines have...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Mike Boone, his third touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now Johnson. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I think if you pulled defensive backs they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can get a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
Looking to throw on second down. Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Hey, watch this.
Now a give right side. Boom. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Here's Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. These two teams all tied after one. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And he's able to find Diggs. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs. Hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. On 2nd and 7, Cousins completes it to the fullback Ham. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now a give, right side. Boom. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from there.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ready? 50, plant.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Sanders on for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his third touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a three-point game. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3 points?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Throwing on second down. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Abdullah, and he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run with Boone here. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a give, right side. Boom. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On the carry, it's Boone. There he goes again. And down to the 19-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On 1st down, Abdullah. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Sanders' kick is good, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find one to get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Back to throw. Lawrence. Jones has it. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From the gun on third down. Lawrence. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
Here we go.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back at it.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Ben Gideon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their third one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Holding offense.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we have reached halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Watch the shit! Line out!
On third down. Boom. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
They go play action here on first down. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And sprang the big guy, didn't he?
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Whitney merciless. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. To throw is Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Ben Gideon make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Ben Gideon in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And now out comes Minnesota. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. On 2nd and 9, Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Throwing to start the drive. Lawrence. James has got it. Complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. The first down carry here for Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Go now. X3. 218. Chop.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. And he's going to go down again. Ben Gideon has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw on second down, Lawrence. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it. An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. To throw, Cousins. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 30. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers. And on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Cousins now feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. That was Jordan Poyer, the safety, in for the sack. Now from the 7, here's second and goal.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want me. Protein spill. Check.
Now Cousins. Complete. It's Johnson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to third and goal.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And now this pass brought in by Brown.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw. Lawrence. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ben Gideon in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Back to throw. Lawrence. Well, the pressure gets to him again. Ben Gideon racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers to...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Anthony Barr in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Lawrence looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep them caught.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Pulled in at the 24. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. On first down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe to get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So the